Ladies and gentlemen, we have, the WBAF is constantly innovating and bringing new elements, giving you new reasons to come back every year. This year, the WBAF World Congress, in fact, encompasses 5 different events with different focuses. We have different leaders for each of those, and we are going to invite them to tell them what they are going to accomplish over the next 2 days. I would like to invite some of those people up here now. I'd just like to let you know the 5 different programs that we have running are, of course, the WBAF World Congress 2018. We have the Take Invest Conference, which is for startups and people leading new companies, startups and scale-ups. We have the FinTech Summit, near and dear to my own heart, which is going to be going on here. The Impact Investment Summit for impact investors, and the CEO-Preneurship Summit for CEOs that are running companies worth more than revenues of over $100 million. So 5 big events, and we've got 5 great leaders to come and tell us what they are going to achieve in these conferences over the next couple of days. Of course, leading the entire WBAF World Congress is the chairman of the WBAF. First person I'd like to welcome is back to the stage, Baibrazal Tuntas, our chairman. Thank you very much. Here we go. He is going to be joined by the leaders of the other events. I'd like to welcome Renata Burkic, the founder of Feels Good Social Impact Investment Fund, who has come from Croatia. If you could please join us, Ms. Burkic. Thank you very much. Paul Donay is the CEO of Turk Telecom, and he is going to be joining us today. Certainly a CEO-preneur if I have ever seen one. Paul, once again, welcome to the WBAF. Thank you. Inderjeet Singh has come from Singapore, board member of the WBAF. He is also the co-president of the World Entrepreneurship Forum and is going to be joining us. Thank you very much, Mr. Singh. Thank you. And as well, a friend that I keep running into all over the world, the irrepressible Paolo Cironi is going to be joining us, the thought leader in FinTech for IBM Watson Financial Services. Based in Germany, but everywhere around the world all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, put their feet to the fire and let's find out what they are going to deliver over the next couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, we are first time going to run 5 different summits concurrently. And however, I'm going to talk in the daytime, so I don't want to talk about my part, but we wanted to make an Congress 101 for our audience. Maybe you may ask...
I gotta take it.
Sorry. Maybe you can question how we designed the program, how we selected the speakers, invited the speakers, how did we convince them, etc., etc. So our chairmen of each summit, Impact Investment Summit chairwoman, CEO-Preneurship's Summit's legendary chairman, and dear Inderjeet. Inderjeet Singh, I think you have to know him very well because he is the longest 20 years parliament member of Singapore. He has just recently left the parliament, retired from parliamentarship, and he chairs the Take Invest Summit. And dear Paolo Cironi, of course. FinTech without Paolo Cironi is a little bit questionable issue. And dear Paolo Cironi of IBM Watson Financial Services FinTech thought leader. He lives in Germany, but he is originally Italian. Now, let's start from ladies, and let's ask, by the way, please, this booklet, we designed each program with different colors. We are in the blue room now. So if you check the blue page, you will find the program of today. But in the afternoon, Take Invest Summit is starting and it is green page. And when you came to the room, you will see a green branding, backdrop, etc. And tomorrow morning, in Paolo Donay's summit, it will be white. It will be white. And by the way, tomorrow morning again here, but tonight, this branding will change. As a matter of fact, this branding will change 3 times because at 6 p.m. when we leave the room, a team will come here and will change all branding for the World Excellence Awards. And after the World Excellence Award, another team will come and will change it for the next tomorrow morning's CEO-Preneurship Summit. And Take Invest is the yellow page, and FinTech is yellow page. Yellow is the color our chairman selected, by the way. We will ask why it is yellow, by the way. Okay, blockchain and social impact. This is one of the panels of the Impact Investment Summit. Please tell us what are they going to find in your summit, and why should come to your summit but not to Paul's summit or Inderjit summit or Paolo summit? Why?
Because we are cooperating and not competing, so they're allowed to come to other summits too. Yeah, they are. Actually, the Impact Investment Summit will be an awareness-raising exercise that will last for a whole day tomorrow. And why the awareness-raising? Because we want to demystify the term social impact from the idea that it is a charity and that it cannot generate profits. So blockchain with social impact, how it goes together? It goes very much, because impact investing is even more powerful than the traditional investing because of its third line, which is impact. It's not only risk, it's not only the return, but there is that third dimension. What we will discuss and what you will hear is going to be separated in the morning and in the afternoon. The first part of the summit will be dedicated to the definition of impact, so that everybody understands how it can be achieved through the different industries. Every industry is eligible. After that, we are going to have the panel on the technology for impact, where we will have a great blockchainers who will explain how the blockchain technology can support the social impact companies and the impact entrepreneurship in general. Although these impact themes have been supported and pushed by women, and this is because of, I think, this is because of the estrogens and progesterones, I'm happy to announce that we have men talking on the Impact Summit tomorrow. I mean, we have the equal split, we have 50-50. So it will not only be the women's panel, although in the afternoon we will have the sessions with the brilliant women. We called it women from the Silk Road of Impact from all around the world. Another important initiative is dedicated to the European Investment Fund. It is important because the European Parliament a few years ago decided to put many millions of euros into the impact investment, and we will have the impact investment manager from the EIF explaining on the toolkit how the EIF and the EIB are co-investing with angel investors, impact bonds, and social impact venture funds, followed by the exercise and an interesting panel that will give the experiences on the challenges of setting up a social impact investment fund. So this would be in short. I think it's enough. Yeah.
However, the rest of the story is in the booklet. But tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. CEO-Preneurship Summit is starting. 9:30 FinTech, and 10 a.m. Impact Investment Summit, Red Room. And the Red Room's official opening ceremony speech will be made with Her Excellencies Iksen Kurt tomorrow morning on behalf of the Grand Assembly of Turkish Assembly. Why? Because in Turkey, women entrepreneurship is a very important issue. Our president supports this issue very much, and she is the person in the Grand Assembly who focuses on women entrepreneurship issue. Thanks so much, Her Excellencies. And dear Paul Bey, I am a fan of Paul Donay, by the way. Really. When he was, he was retired. He was the CEO of Turk Telecom, then retired, then again became the CEO of, and when he was retired, I was very happy. But then he became again. Why? Because even while he was the CEO, he invested in 22 startups from his own pocket. So I think this CEO-Preneurship Summit is a perfect idea, dear Paul Bey, converting CEOs to angel investors. When they are retired, they will have an agenda what to do. And you are the person who became the role model of this issue, not just for Turkey, for the world. And tomorrow morning, we are going to announce with Paul Bey, with pleasure, and accepting me in this team, by the way, the Global CEO Alliance Club. He will talk more, please.
Thank you very much. Baybars, thank you very much. You know, Baybars asked about this CEO entrepreneurship idea the first time we met. And in fact, I was asking him about his own personal investments and the history of every single one of them. And I also shared with him some of the investments that I had made. And that was before I was asked to come back to Turkish Telecom. So on returning to the company, I was also quite impressed to see that they had started an accelerator program themselves. Because we had done some acquisitions in my time, and they were more like really acquire and build type. They were not kind of like risky. They already were profitable. And we wanted to move more now into like scale-up type approach. We announced our corporate venture capital entity recently. So in this type of experience, what we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage executives, I mean not only CEOs, obviously, but executives that fit within this parameter to participate in growing the angel investment community by making investments of some kind. Now, one kind of investment is to provide some money. Another kind of investment is to provide some time and experience. And obviously, the ideal is to be able to provide both. Now, clearly, if a person is in employment, it would be helpful even if they divert their own companies into this way of thinking. And of course, after they retire, as you indicated, of course, after I retired, I made 20 plus investments. So if that's a form of retirement, that was more difficult than my previous job. But I think that probably the world is now going through major opportunities for what I call business transformation. I don't like to use the word digital transformation because this is more about business transformation, which may include a digital, it should include, you would expect, but not necessarily so. So I think that's an area where executives have a lot of value to provide. I think that maybe 10, 15 years ago, you would hear about very sharp entrepreneurial young people who maybe come with some incredible technology that they can develop. But really, this era is not really much about that. I mean, there's some room for that, but it's about basic business. And I think this is why experience from management teams is very critical. And that experience in any form that they can provide to these companies is either complementary to money or in lieu of money. And I think that's why encouraging executives while they're working to engage in this and push their own companies to do it. And that's what I hope to do. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks so much. I think the main output of tomorrow will be how are we going to bring a 50K company CEO with the CEO of a $100 million, $50 million. How are they going to be on the same page? So we will benefit from your expertise. Thanks so much, dear Paul Bey. Dear Inderjit Zink, he's a bestseller book writer, by the way. He's very humble. Innovation is his main focus, but he's an entrepreneur, and he's co-president of the World Entrepreneurship Forum based in Lyon. I know him from World Entrepreneurship Forum's Annual Congress in Singapore. And so Take Invest Summit was your part. Dear Inderjit, please.
Yeah, as we all know, as entrepreneurs, one of the biggest challenge always is the funding portion of your business. When I started my companies, I experienced this with a lot of difficulty. And there are many elements to financing. It's not just finding the funders, but also rules and regulations and ecosystem, how to create a networks and so on. So in the Tech Summit, we will be hearing from speakers from different parts of the world, sharing their experiences in the different ecosystems, and hopefully, we all can learn from them to improve our own ecosystem in our own parts of the world. And the main objective there will be to develop that network and opportunity for startup and scale-up companies to meet up with the potential investors, and then get an introduction, understand what the companies are doing, and hopefully there'll be follow-up after the summit. So we'll have keynote speeches, fireside chat, panel discussions, and I think this will be an interesting place for investors to look at some of the potential companies that you can invest, and also develop your network across borders. In the discussions that I've had so far with some of our fellow investors is that we are in different parts of the world, we have investment opportunities, and we want to share this so that each one of us can have an opportunity to invest in companies across borders. So hopefully the Tech Summit will create that platform that will help us to be able to do this continuously, not just now, today and tomorrow, but throughout the year moving forward.
Thank you, Inderjit. By the way, thank you very much for this idea, for this booklet. Inderjit proposed an idea to the board. Since we are also including a Tech Invest Summit, why not to organize some startup pitchings and make these pitchings more visible to the investors? So, ladies and gentlemen, in the reception area, you will see a corner, speaker's corner, pitcher's corner, where 35 international startups are going to pitch. And this is the booklet, and executive summaries of these startups are in this booklet. And they are on the chairs. If you don't have a pen or pencil, it is also available there, because we know investors don't enjoy using pen, pencil, etc. So, this is the High Commissioners the magazine. I mentioned to you about 41 High Commissioners this morning. And if you want to learn who they are and what is happening in these 41 countries, what like tax incentives are available, and there are some quick facts about each country with a biography of each High Commissioner. And this year's cover is Renata. Congratulations, Renata. Yes, because she really deserved. She made the take in. By the way, you will see some stand areas. You will see some sponsors areas, but also some startup booths. These booths from around 15 countries, we organized a Tech Invest Summit in 16 different countries. And in Croatia, she made an agreement with the economy minister of Croatia and made this event in cooperation. So congratulations again for your contributions. And Paolo Cironi. FinTech.
Thank you for inviting.
Can we call you as FinTech? That's all.
FinTech.
Not Paolo, FinTech. FinTech Cironi. I don't know if you follow him. Please follow him from social media. I am not able to believe in my eyes. How many miles are you making in a year to give FinTech keynotes? And do you have an agreement with Turkish Airlines? And what are you doing these miles if you are working with Turkish Airlines, Paolo?
I invest the miles in SMEs.
In SMEs, yeah, miles in SMEs.
And I tokenize them to do that, okay? So
instead of ICO money, now the miles economy.
Exactly.
Please.
So we are going to host the FinTech Summit tomorrow, which I think is very topical for the conference today. FinTech was born like a storm. It became a hurricane. Soon can be a tsunami for the banks and insurance companies. But I want to see the positive side of it. You know, when there is a earthquake, there's a process called flash evaporation that generates new precious metals or material like gold. And I think that this FinTech innovation is generating these new materials, which are tons of different companies and entrepreneurs which are willing to transform the way we do banking, the way we do insurance. Now, a lot of these materials are in California, of course, because of the many earthquakes. In California, there is also a lot of technology. By traveling, I think I could define the world in 3 different areas, a bit of a stereotype. The American Silicon Valley has the technology. Europeans have the regulation, is also important. The Asians, and China in particular, have the business model. Now, this is the year of the dog, which is the yellow year. So I think that the fintech stream has to be yellow, because the business model is very important to make sure that we can be successful in using technology. It's not about technology anymore, it's really about the business model. So we're going to listen to so many different entrepreneurs and speakers providing experiences. And talking about something very important, this is not just about banks changing and transforming the way they work. It's about each and every one of us learning that we are a bank. We can be a bank. We can bank the one with the other. We can create cashless societies, different ways of moving the money around and creating wealth for everybody.
Paolo, thank you very much. If you want to learn more from him, you can read his article for the Angel Investor magazine's new issue. And last year, dear Paul Donay was on the cover. But this year, you are not Paul Donay. What happened? No, this time, Queen Maxima. Why is she on the cover of this magazine? I advise you to really read it while flying back, because she was appointed as the advocate for SME financial inclusion on behalf of the Secretary General of the United Nations. And GPFI, I think. If I am wrong, you can correct me, because you are the king of this issue, Matt. I don't want to jump into your area, but Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion chairwoman, I think, is Her Excellencies of G20 countries. So we wanted to a little bit tap her projects for SMEs, so you can read them here. By the way, all these magazines are can be downloaded from issuu.com, or you can visit my LinkedIn page, because I uploaded the link to my page last night at 3 a.m. So it is available there. So if you don't want to carry them, if it is every extra baggage, I don't want you to pay more extra baggage while flying back. Dear lady and gentlemen, thank you very much for your dedication to empower the early stage and post-early stage equity markets. And thank you very much for accepting chairing summits of WBAF. And I hope we are going to together make a change in the world by empowering this economy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Renata, Paul Bey, Paolo, Intergit.
Thank you very much, all of you, not only for coming on stage, but also taking up the leadership role with the different parts that we have to the broader WBAF congresses here. Thank you very much, Intergit, Renata, Paolo.